What if I told you there was a blueprint? Not for a building or a city, but for reality itself. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most wildly ambitious ideas ever written down, and it comes from an ancient Buddhist text called the Avatamsaka Sutra. It's this incredible vision for the entire cosmos, and it all starts with a single powerful thought. So let's just jump right in with a huge question. What if the good vibes from one single kind act weren't just, a drop in the ocean? What if you could actually harness that energy and use it to perfect not just our world, but every world, for every single person, every animal, every being? That's the wild idea we're going to unpack today. So how in the world would that even work? Well, it all comes down to this core concept called Hui Shang, which we translate as the dedication of merit. The best way to think about it is like this. Say you write an amazing piece of open source code. Instead of selling it or keeping it to yourself, you just release it to the world for free, so anyone and everyone can benefit from it. Hui Shang is basically the spiritual version of that. You take all the positive energy or merit you've created and you make it open source for the entire universe. Okay, so if you're dedicating all this positive energy, where is it going? What's the plan? Well, the sutra is super specific about this. It doesn't just say, make things better. It lays out this breathtakingly detailed blueprint for what a perfect reality would look like. And the sheer scale of this is, well, it's hard to wrap your head around. We're not just talking about sprucing up our little corner of the universe. The goal is to take every single plane of existence, what's called a Buddha land, and polish it until it's as perfect and pure as the fundamental nature of reality itself. Now, to describe this vision, the text does this really cool thing. It uses this hypnotic, poetic repetition. It keeps using the word asankhya, which basically means incalculable, or so many you can't even count them. So in this perfect universe, there are incalculable jeweled thrones. And get this, there are incalculable jeweled clouds that are constantly raining down, you guessed it, more gems, just blanketing everything in this incredible light and beauty. Of course, there are also incalculable jeweled trees, and their branches are heavy with fruits made of pure gemstones, just shimmering everywhere you look. But here's the most important part. This isn't some empty, sterile paradise. The vision includes incalculable jeweled palaces, and every single one is filled with countless enlightened beings, or bodhisattvas, all there, living and learning together. The perfect reality is for them. So we've got this stunning, infinitely perfect universe. But the million-dollar question is, who is all this for? See, this grand design isn't some kind of personal reward. Its entire purpose is completely selfless. This whole dedication is really powered by a series of profound promises or vows. It's not just about making a pretty place. It's about fundamentally transforming everyone in it. The commitment is to help every single being mature, to guide them to deep understanding, to help them unlock limitless wisdom and unbreakable spiritual power, and ultimately to make them just as virtuous as the greatest sages. The core principle here is simple. Absolutely no one gets left behind. Now, you might be thinking, to make a promise that huge, to even conceive of something on this scale, you'd have to operate from a completely different mindset, a mind that just doesn't see borders or separation. Most of us, we walk around seeing the world in boxes. There's me versus you, good versus bad, this life versus the next one. But the enlightened view that the sutras talks about, it calls it equality or pingdong. It just dissolves all those walls. From this perspective, all beings are part of one interconnected whole. All events are just expressions of the same reality, and all of time is happening in a single eternal moment. And believe me, this idea of equality goes all the way down. The text spells it out. It's not just that all beings are equal, it's that all worlds are fundamentally equal. All actions and their consequences are equal. It even says that things we see as total opposites, like purity and defilement, are equal. And from this viewpoint, even time collapses. The past, present, and future are all one. So what happens when a mind operating from that state of total unity makes a vow that spans the entire universe? Well, according to the sutra, it's not just a quiet thought. Reality itself, well, it notices. Big time. Instantly, at that very moment, every single world system across all 10 directions of space trembles in 6 distinct ways. And we're not talking a little metaphor here. It's described as a literal, physical, cosmic event, a sign that something of massive importance has just happened. And that's just the start of it. The worlds don't just tremble. They rise, they surge, they shake, and they roar. A rain of celestial flowers and jewels and perfumes just falls from the sky. Heavenly beings appear and they start singing praises like, excellent, excellent. And maybe the wildest part? Countless bodhisattvas from completely different universes instantly travel across space and time just to witness it. And it's not just a vague detail. The text gets super specific. It says a whole group of bodhisattvas who all share the same name, Vajradvaja, which means diamond banner, show up from their own worlds. And they make it clear why they're there. They say, we have come to bear witness for you. They're there to validate the power and the truth of this incredible act. You know, this whole massive, mind-bending idea can be boiled down to one beautiful, powerful verse from the text. It's the ultimate summary. Every bit of good, every ounce of merit earned on the path to enlightenment is immediately given away, dedicated back to everyone else, so that we can all get to that perfect shore together. It's cosmic generosity on a scale that's almost impossible to imagine. And that's what brings this whole cosmic vision right back down to us, to our lives. The sutra is really pushing us to think bigger than just our own small personal goals. It's asking a pretty direct question. When you do something good, what's the highest, most expansive, most selfless purpose you can dedicate it to? What's your grand design?